Well, new this morning, the Madison Police Department now looking for two suspects who ran away after crashing their car last night. This happened around 9:30 when officers say they saw a white sedan blow a red light at the intersection of John Nolan Drive and Williamson Street. The car then hit a curb and two parked cars. As the driver took off from police, the two people inside the car ran away after they crashed into that second parked car. Police say they found a stolen handgun, marijuana, and other drug-related items in that sedan. This investigation is ongoing. No arrests have been made. And if you have any information, you're asked to call MPD.